series of unfortunate events. This was the film that we were supposed to watch, and we were supposed to answer questions and a quotation that was important to us. Okay, now let's start. Quotation that affected me the most was when Lemony Snicket said, "In a world both frightening and unlucky, there are a few comforts. One of them is making new friends. Friends can make you feel the world is smaller and safer than it really is, because you know people who have similar experiences. When you meet people like that, you may find your world feels a little more complete, like the missing piece of a puzzle or two halves of a broken spyglass." Here. This quote, I appreciate this quote because this was when the Baudelaires and the Quagmires met in the school, and both the Baudelaires and Quagmires are orphans, and they both experience problems in their family. And this quote also says the importance of friends in your life and how friends can help you learn in facing problems, struggles, and conflicts. Now we're gonna answer some questions, the viewing comprehension questions about the film. Okay. So explain why Georgina Orwell hypnotized Klaus Baudelaire and the workers at the lumber mill. What motivated him or her? What motivated him or her? What did this motivation do with the theme of the film? Georgina Orwell was the optometrist. So yeah, there. I'm gonna explain why. And now I'm gonna explain my opinion. In my opinion, Georgina Orwell, the optometrist, hypnotized the workers because she was trying to trick the workers into thinking that the Baudelaire's parents burned down Paltryville. Furthermore, she and Count Olaf hypnotized Klaus Baudelaire so that they can order Klaus into doing what they want. For example, they ordered Klaus to use the saw to cut Phil's leg. This accident led to the Baudelaires getting hated by the other workers in the lumber mill. Georgina and Count Olaf were motivated because of the money that the Baudelaires owned, because the Baudelaires were inheriting their parents' money. So in conclusion, Georgina and Count Olaf hypnotized the workers and Klaus so that they can proceed into doing their evil plans to get the money that the Baudelaires inherit. Question 2. What is the key moment in the story? The scene which brings illumination or aha moment. So, when the partners, Count Olaf and Georgina, hypnotized the workers and Klaus, they assigned a word that will unhypnotize them. For example, when Klaus was hypnotized, his sister said inordinate to unhypnotize them. So, in my opinion, the key moment in the story was when Violet Baudelaire, Klaus Baudelaire's sister, had known the words that would unhypnotize the workers and her brother. In addition, if Violet would have not known the words that will unhypnotize Klaus, then their friend Charles would have died in a fatal accident. Because when Klaus was on Count Olaf's and Georgina's control, they were ordering Klaus into killing Charles. Furthermore, if Violet did not know the words that will hypnotize the workers, the workers would not have been free from the lumber mill and the hypnotism of Georgina Orwell. After Violet freed the workers and Klaus from hypnotism, Count Olaf and Georgina's evil plan was ruined. In short, the key moment in the story was when Violet Baudelaire had unhypnotized the workers and her brother Klaus Baudelaire. Now let's proceed to question 3. Did the film resorted to the use of gratuitous violence, explicit portrayals of sexual encounters, or excessive profanity? If it did, how did these scenes affect the story told by the film? Yes, the film resulted into the use of gratuitous violence. In my opinion, the film had a lot of gratuitous violence. For example, when the optometrist or Georgina hypnotized Klaus in cutting Phil's leg. In addition, the gratuitous violence affected the story a lot, such as when Klaus accidentally cut off Phil's leg. The other workers and the owner ended up hating them, and no one would have a care about them, even though Klaus was just hypnotized into doing it. In short, the film resorted to a lot of gratuitous violence which affected the story a lot. Okay. Another question is, which character did you admire, hate, love, or pity the most? What was it about the character? What was it about that character that caused you to have that reaction? Throughout the film, the character which I hated the most was Regina Orwell. This character was doing evil things in the workers and people in the lumber mill, such as hypnotizing them, taking away their freedom, forcing them to follow her orders and rules. In addition, the optometrist was also doing evil things to the Baudelaires. For example, hypnotizing the workers into thinking that the Baudelaires' parents were the ones who burned down Paltryville, but the Baudelaires' parents were actually the ones who helped in taking out the fire. Most importantly, Georgina partnered up with the evil Count Olaf to steal the Baudelaire fortune that the Baudelaires were inheriting from their parents. On the whole, I hated Georgina Orwell the most because of the evil things she had done to the workers of the lumber mill and the Baudelaires. Okay, last question. Is the problem to be solved in the film is the problem that can is the problem that can be solved in the film that can be seen in the struggle of the protagonist against the protagonist familiar to you in any way? If so, describe the similarities and differences. The problems that the Baudelaires have are somewhat similar to me. However, I experience problems that are not that much worse and brutal compared to the problems that the Baudelaires faced, such as experiencing violence. Experience violence only because I did something wrong and they had to be disciplined. So that's why I experienced violence. Unlike the Baudelaires, who's experienced violence because of the money and fortune that they have, unlike the Baudelaires, who experienced violence because of the evil people that were trying to steal the money that they inherited from their parents. In conclusion, I experienced problems that are similar to the problems that the Baudelaires experienced, but the problems that the Baudelaires experienced was much more worse than what I experienced. Okay, thank you for listening to my vlog. So that was our